Sophie had always been close to her cousin Jack. They grew up together, spent holidays with each other, and even went to the same college. But when Jack started seeing his mistress, everything changed. Sophie couldn't believe it when Jack told her about his affair. She never thought he would cheat on his wife and risk everything he had built with her. But Jack was smitten with his new love, and he didn't care about the consequences. To make matters worse, Jack's mistress, Rachel, had lost her job and was struggling to make ends meet. Jack offered to let her stay in his apartment until she found a new place to live. But he didn't tell Sophie that he would be moving in with her. Sophie found out about the arrangement when she visited Jack's apartment to catch up with him. She was shocked to see Rachel lounging on the couch while Jack was in their kitchen, making her a drink. Sophie tried to talk to Jack about the situation, but he was defensive and dismissive. He told her that he loved Rachel and that she needed his help. Sophie couldn't argue with that, but she couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. Days turned into weeks, and Sophie noticed that Jack was always tired and stressed. He was working long hours at his job and then coming home to take care of Rachel. Sophie couldn't understand why Jack was sacrificing so much for someone who wasn't even his wife. Sophie listened as Rachel poured out her heart, and she couldn't help but feel sorry for her. She realized that Rachel was just as lost and confused as Jack was. They were two people who had found comfort in each other's company, even though their relationship was built on lies and deceit. Sophie left the apartment feeling conflicted. She didn't condone what Jack was doing, but she couldn't ignore the fact that he was trying to help someone in need. She decided to talk to him one more time and try to convince him to end things with Rachel. When she arrived at his apartment, Jack was already there. He had just come back from work, and Rachel was cooking dinner in the kitchen. Sophie could tell that Jack was tired and stressed, but he seemed happy to see her. They sat down at the table and Rachel served them dinner. They talked about their childhood memories and caught up on each other's lives for a moment. Everything felt normal again, but then Jack dropped a bombshell. He told Sophie that he had decided to leave his wife for Rachel. He said that he loved her and that he couldn't imagine his life without her. Sophie was shocked. She didn't know what to say. She couldn't believe that Jack was willing to throw away everything he had worked for, just for a chance at happiness with someone who was not his wife. In the end, Sophie decided to support Jack. Even though she didn't agree with his decision, she realized that sometimes people make mistakes, and it's up to their loved ones to help them through it. She hoped that Jack would eventually see the error of his ways and come back to his senses. But for now, Sophie would have to live with the fact that her cousin and his mistress were living rent-free while he worked extra hours to supper.